Hey everyone, it's Sarah with RegisteredNurseRN.com, and today I'm going to show you how to take or administer a pregnancy test. So what does this test measure? Well, it's going to look for a hormone in your urine called HCG, and HCG stands for human chorionic gonadotropin, which is why we call it HCG, and this is a hormone produced by the placenta. So if this hormone is present in your urine, it's possibly saying that during your cycle, you released an egg, a sperm fertilized that egg, the egg traveled down, implanted itself in the uterus, and you are growing a baby. So when should you take a pregnancy test? Well, generally speaking, you want to wait until you have missed your period. But there are some tests on the market that say they can detect it a little bit earlier, but always just read the instructions of whatever type of test you are using. Now, with these tests, they will display results differently depending on the brand. Some will display it electronically, others you will have to manually read it, like with this one. And generally speaking as well, whenever you want to take the pregnancy test is usually in the morning time, whenever your urine is highly concentrated with the HCG. What supplies will you need to take a pregnancy test? Well, of course, you'll need the pregnancy test. You'll need a cup to catch your urine in. You'll need a timer, either a watch or your phone. And if you're in a clinical setting, you'll need a pair of gloves. Now, to actually take the test, what you want to do is you want to wash your hands, then collect the urine specimen by peeing in a cup, and then wash your hands again. So we've collected the urine specimen and I've put on my gloves, but before we actually do the test, let me explain this test to you. Whenever you do a pregnancy test, always look at the test itself, because here, this area with this arrows pointing is where we're going to drop the urine in, and this particular test requires 3 drops of urine. And then over here you see a C and a T. The C is the control area, and you will definitely get a line here. And this is a good thing because this is telling you that the test works and that you added enough urine. The T part is the test part, and if it is positive, you do have HCG in your urine, a line will pop up here. Now, the darkness of the line, how fast it pops up, will vary from person to person depending on how far along you are in your pregnancy. So read the manufacturer's results for how long you need to wait before you read the test results. Now we're going to do the test, and what I want to do is I'm going to show you a test that is positive versus a test that is negative so you can see the differences. Here we have our droppers, and they contain our urine sample. We use the droppers that came with the pregnancy test to withdraw the urine. In this top dropper, we have urine that contains HCG. And how I know that is because it's my urine and I'm pregnant. This bottom dropper contains urine that does not have HCG in it. It comes from my husband, so he shouldn't have HCG in his urine. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 drops of urine to each test. So we'll add to this top one. This is the urine that has the HCG. So 1, 2, 3. And then we'll add drop here. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to let that go for 3 minutes because for this particular test, they say to wait 3 minutes to read the results, but don't read the results after 5 minutes because they won't be valid. So it's been 3 minutes. Now we're going to interpret our results. So as you can see here in these tests, we have a line in both of the control areas. This tells us we added enough urine and that this test is working. However, in this pregnancy test here on the top, there is a line in the test area. So it's positive, which tells us that it detected HCG in the urine. However, here on the bottom, this bottom pregnancy test, there is no line in this test area. So it is negative. It tells us that it did not detect HCG
in that urine sample.
So what do you do if you get positive results? Well, what you want to do is call your doctor, your OBGYN, family doctor, whoever you go to. Tell them that you got a positive home pregnancy test, and they'll have you come in, they'll confirm it, and then start with prenatal labs. But let's say that you get a negative result, but you still haven't had your period. You don't really know what's going on. What you want to do is you want to wait a little bit and retest. Maybe you tested a little bit earlier. Or let's say it's still negative and you're not getting a positive result. You want to call your doctor who can further investigate it. Okay, so that wraps up this demonstration on how to take a pregnancy test. Now be sure to check out my other nursing skill videos and our maternity review lectures.